Hello, this is Tricia from Planet Ninkol, and I'm here to do day 2 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot. And today I am doing my top 5 tarot decks of 2017. Now, it says here in the directions or the prompts, the decks that I purchased or that were released in 2017. I have one deck that was not purchased or released in 2017, but it's still my favorite, so I'm just going to include that. The rest of them I did purchase in 2017, and some of them were released. Okay, so I'm just going to start. This wasn't really hard for me because I started working with a very specific number of decks this year, and I realized that I like getting close to a couple of decks and instead of working with a bunch of them at the same time. So these are the ones that became very special to me this year. The first deck that I'm going to talk about is the Cosmic Tarot. And I did trim this one and edge it in black. And the interesting thing about this deck for me is that I actually do not use it to read with, but I started working on a writing project with it, and it has become extremely special to me. And when I think of decks that I couldn't leave behind, this is just one of them. I think I might read with it in the future. I just love the images. They really do speak to me. But I just haven't used it for readings. It's sort of like dreamy, otherworldly, and yes, there's this Hollywood, like movie star vibe. I think that's why I like it for storytelling. It's sort of, I don't know, the archetypes just sort of open me up in that way. Storytelling, that's gorgeous. I like the colors. Sort of a pale palette, and there's these some of these darker cards that are very dreamlike, watery. Yeah, really neat. And I know a lot of you are familiar with this deck, so I definitely won't show all of it. I will stop after this card. All right. Yes, Cosmic Tarot. Love it. Now, the second deck on my list here is the Tarot of the Crone. Yeah. This is a kick-ass deck, and it is pretty intense. I don't use it all the time because it's so intense, but I just love it. It's wild. Very, 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 very powerful reading. So I use it specifically when I want to get a very wise, I get wise answers from all of them. So it's not that, it's just, it touches a different part of my psyche, I guess, my intuition. Yeah, this deck is so beautiful, so bizarre. Like, what? Yeah, just the images, they're very evocative. So they, I find that I get just very different things from these images that I might get from a Rider-Waite-Smith type of deck. They're a little bit creepy. Look at that moon card. Oh my gosh. Tower. Magician. All right, just a couple more of these. Oh yeah. Hierophant tradition. It's a good one. So yes, I highly recommend this deck. It's so unique. Now, the third deck that is my favorite, on my favorite list, is the Astara Tarot. I absolutely adore this deck. Fabulous readings with this. It's done by 4 different artists. Each suit is done by a different artist, all female artists. And yeah, I find that I really like the differences in the artwork. It doesn't feel disjointed or disconnected in any way. It's just a very unique deck. It took me forever to get this deck. I don't know why. I pre-ordered it, and they just kept notifying me that it wasn't coming, it wasn't coming, it wasn't coming, and then finally they said it wasn't coming at all. I was never going to get it. And then I realized I could just get it at Barnes & Noble, which is right down the street. So, yeah, it's very weird. Look at that. So cute. Okay, so yes, number 3. Cruising through these. I'm going to do short videos this time. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, this is no surprise if you follow my Facebook page. These next 2 are my absolute favorite decks, and I use them a lot because they're my favorite. That's why. So I can't even say that I like one more than the other. They're different in feel, but they're both my favorite. So the Everyday Witch. Wow, I just fell in love with this deck when I got it this year. Oh, I don't know. I'm super into it. It's colorful, very intuitive, easy to read with. I get great messages. It feels like a friend. Look at that Hierophant card. It's good. It just feels like a friend. And it felt that way the second I took it out of the box and looked at it. I just fell immediately in love with it. And sorry, a shift here. Oh, I was craning my neck like that. It was silly. Yeah, so I know this deck has been pretty popular this year. A lot of people have posted it on Instagram. And yeah, it's fantastic. Highly recommend it. It's a keeper for me for sure. I will probably use it a lot in 2018. Oh, I love that death card. Yeah, it's fun. It's magical. I love that. Queen of Pentacles. Woo! 2 Wands. Yeah, this is a very comforting deck for me. Queen of Wands. 3 Wands. And then my last favorite, and this was not released in 2017. I did not purchase it in 2017, but it is my favorite deck. And that is the Druid Craft. I do not have the box here. And yes, I have trimmed and edged it in brown. You probably can't tell that it's brown. There you go. The light is very pink in here. It's very weird. Looks like I'm wearing pink lipstick. Yeah, so this was, I guess I got this deck in the fall of 2016 after a couple of misfires with my first couple of decks. I finally found this one, and it went to elevated status immediately. I love it. I guess I like colorful decks. I definitely like the Rider-Waite tradition. I like having people in my decks. At least now. Maybe that'll change. Yeah, I love it. I really feel a strong masculine guide speaking to me through this deck. Yeah, it's beautiful. I just love it. I think the only card that I may not, whoa, the only card that I may not like is the World card. I saw the Tarot Alchemist say that on her Instagram feed because she just got this deck not too long ago. And that made me laugh because I feel the same way. I'm like, no. Well, I guess I'm going to have to show that World card now, right? If I can find it. Here we go. Not my favorite card in the deck, but there's so many great ones. Like that Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, and the Death card. I'm having a death experience right now, which I won't go into. But anyway, so yes, those are my top 5. That was not hard for me. I got a lot of decks this past year that I realized that, yes, I needed to just work with a select few on a regular basis. It's the same way I feel about friendships. I like to have a couple of really great friends. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm starting to ramble, and I'm already done doing the prompt. So I will, yes, check out. Bye.